Hey guys, it is Monday and it's off to a new week. Don't forget to post your favorite snack online, UCMS, hashtag UCMS online. Um, we are finished with Latin America government and we're going to go ahead and I am going to read the warm up to you today, guys. I'll let you take it. Remember, there is no bell, so nobody's hurrying you. You can take as long as you want. Please look every single answer up. I am going to review with you from the standards. What have we been covering? Um, just kind of review everything that I can think of before I read it out, and hopefully this will help you. First of all, there's only two types of government: autocratic and democratic. We know autocratic doesn't give you any choices, democratic does. We've also talked about federal, where powers are split or divided. We've talked about you're either a presidential democracy or a parliamentary. We didn't have any parliamentary this time; they were all presidential. There was two presidential and one autocratic. Speaking of that, let's go with that. Mexico. Mexico is a presidential democracy. They're very similar to the U.S. There's one big difference. In Mexico, the president gets one 6-year term. That's it. In Brazil, they are also a presidential democracy, and their difference is they require you to vote from age 18 to 70. You have to vote. If you don't vote, then they'll fine you. And then the last country we talked about was Cuba, and Cuba is the weird one. It is not a democracy. It's autocratic. It's a military dictatorship. The Castro family's in charge. And I think you guys pretty much know this stuff if you really think hard and you really look up those answers. Remember, there's no bell going to be ringing. Take your time, read it as long as you want to. Email me, say, and some of you have been doing this. This is good. Some of you say, "Hey, I'm having trouble with questions 1, 2, and 3. Can you help me?" And we end up getting it. We get it. So if you're having those kind of problems, email me. Let me know that. Also, we're going to have a Google Meet. Check your classroom for your time. It's already posted. Please join in the Google Meets. That will also help you. So if you're ready, I'm going to read it to you and we'll get started. Number 1. In Mexico, the president is both the chief executive and the head of state. That sounds just like the U.S. because our president is chief executive and head of state. So what do we call that? Is that a presidential democracy, a parliamentary democracy, a constitutional monarchy, or a constitutional democracy? Number 2, which statement about political parties is true about Cuba? How many political parties do they have? Those running for office may not be in the Communist Party. The leader of the political party cannot be president. There are many political parties, or they only have one, which is communist. Number 3, which country requires every adult to vote between the ages of 18 to 70? And one of the countries that we talked about makes you vote. Is that Brazil, Cuba, Mexico, or the United States? And just a hint, we've not been talking about the United States, so you can take that one out. Number 4, citizens of which country are considered to have hardly any freedoms because they have a communist dictatorship? Would that be Brazil, Mexico, Cuba, or the United States? Number 5, one way that Mexico is different from the U.S. is that the president is the chief executive. Their president gets only one 6-year term. If you're 18, you have to vote. It's required. Or the legislature is called Congress. Which one of those is different from our country? Number 6, there's two kinds of democracies that we've discussed. One of them is parliamentary and the other is blank. Is that presidential, federal, communist, or constitutional? Number 7, in Brazil and Mexico, the central government and the state government share powers. That means powers are split or divided. What do we call that? Is that representative democracy, direct democracy, constitutional monarchy, or federal? What do we call it when the powers are split or divided? And number 8, what kind of government does Brazil have? Now, if you get confused on this, always look at your standards. We talked about go back and find the standards because all of these, I know you're going to find the next 3 answers on there. What type of government does Brazil have? Is it communist? Is it a federal presidential democracy? Is it a parliamentary democracy? Or is it a monarchy? What kind of government does Brazil have? Number 9 is a different one, Cuba. Cuba has one leader in charge. What do we call that? Is that a democracy, parliamentary, an autocracy, which is a dictatorship, or the last one, a constitutional monarchy? And number 10, last question. What type of government does Mexico have? The same kind Brazil has, the same kind the US has. We're all very similar. Is it parliamentary? Or is it a federal presidential democracy? Is it a dictatorship? Or is it autocratic? What kind of government does Mexico have? All right, that is all. Don't forget to do your favorite snack. You guys have a great day. And remember, all of your grades so far have been posted. If you see something you don't like, maybe you're missing an assignment, so you might want to get it done. You guys have a great day and enjoy your sunshine, hopefully.